Oh my god, they did hire the Tumblr crew in order to do the art style for this game, didn't they? But let's see what the game is about. So I'll play a little bit of the trailer and then I'll stop and talk about it.
Xcom Chimera Squad is a brand new turn-based tactics game in the acclaimed Xcom series. In Xcom 2, players led the resistance against the alien rulers of Earth and their puppet government. 5 years later, Earth is liberated, and humans and aliens must forge an uneasy peace.
Get the fuck out. Like, you're willing to tell me that the aliens wanted to eradicate human life on Earth. And after the aliens were defeated, everyone is just peaceful and coexisting with each other. Like, absolutely no way in hell. And if such a world would exist, I would definitely like to be part of the organization that tries to fight for human supremacy. Like, get the fuck out of the planet. First of all, it looks like they hired the Tumblr artists for this game. And I know why they're going with this particular story, because everyone was expecting XCOM 3. And everyone is expecting XCOM 3 to take place within the oceans because of Terror from the Deep. But no, like they're using assets from the previous game, because this is like a mod. And they want you to play with the aliens. So yeah, the story is absolutely ridiculous and over the top. You get a lot of strong, angry Chica editions. Like in the beginning, you get like a really like most of the people in power seem to be women. The mayor of the city is a woman. The person that your liaison in charge of the organization is a woman. One of the first characters you get to beat in the game is a black woman. So you kind of get the type of people which made this game. Now, you know, it's up to you. If that's your thing, then go ahead and play it. If that's not your thing, then that's understandable. The game costs, I think, $18, 1/8. And it was announced on April the 14th. And now they're releasing it a couple of days later. So it came out of the blue. I am an XCOM fan, so I got it. I just want to see how it is, like if it's cringy or not. I have absolutely no idea. I just played a little bit of the tutorial. It seemed kind of cool. The interaction between the characters was okay so far. But yeah, let's look a little bit about the gameplay.
Where former combatants live side by side with unity hanging in the balance. This game follows Chimera Squad, an elite team of human and alien agents chosen for their abilities and dedication. Sent to help secure City 31, Chimera Squad's success will keep the city safe, but their failure will mean renewed violence.
So I suppose stakes are actually at an all-time low. I'm not emotionally invested in this city. I do not care what happens to it. And in fact, I'm not a big fan of humans and aliens coexisting either after the aliens tried to wipe out humanity. Yeah. Like, what if the alien masters return and they regain control over their former slaves? What happens then? No, absolute human superiority here. I am 100% humanist. But yeah, no, I'm again, like, the story is really cringy and really meh. But let's take into account this is a DLC. It's not a full game. It's quite cheap compared to, you know, what they charge for other expansions. And let's look at the gameplay, because that's the most important. Like, is it fun to play? This is what I want to know.
Squad's tactical operations, where the agents respond to combat in the city. Each of these battles are divided into encounters. Breach mode is a key new feature to combat. This phase begins each encounter and allows you to choose Chimera Squad's entry points and agent turn order. Burst in, get the drop on enemies, and unleash devastating special abilities. The tactical choices you make during a breach can set the tone for the entire encounter. Will you head to cover or engage with targets? Will agents operate solo or work together? Do you concentrate fire on the most threatening enemy, or do you try to take down multiple weaker targets first? Either way, don't expect to clear an entire room during the breach phase.
Okay, so they're using this instead of the stealth mode, which the vanilla game used to have. And I have to say, I like this system a lot more. The original stealth mode was really boring until you actually got to find aliens. And you just had to spend a lot of time like getting your guys in position, whether this is a lot more straightforward. And I really like the bonuses that you get. So when you want to breach, for example, if you want to go through the main door, then the first unit in this entrance is guaranteed to land their shot. So yeah, it is very strategic oriented. Like, you get the main door, and you can choose your DPS, like let's say your sniper, to be the first one in. And he does get the shot, he probably can take something out, but then he's very vulnerable, because you just set him into the main door. Or you can take a risk and put your sniper in the side window, and now he's at the top floor, he might miss his first shot, but he's in good cover, and he can do a lot more damage in the next couple of turns. So I really love this system. Like, this is absolutely brilliant. It's a very interesting way to make the game fresh, while this just being a mod. I absolutely love it.
Owners have multiple breach points to choose from, each with distinct advantages and disadvantages. Some breach points are only accessible by specific agent abilities or equipment. All units' turns are interleaved, which means that Chimera Squad agents and enemies alternate turns in a single timeline. Turn order is an important aspect of your tactical plan. Knowing which enemy and agent will act next will be crucial in dealing with threats.
Now, this is also something really cool, because what I did hate about the original vanilla XCOM was that you would be the one moving all your guys, and then the aliens would be the ones moving all their guys. And what ended up happening was that towards the middle of the game, it became incredibly easy. The game would be very hard at first until you upgrade your weapons, and then it would be smooth sailing from that point forth. Because what you would do is that you would make sure you use your guys in order to kill all the enemies on the screen in your turn order, and then the enemies wouldn't be able to fire back. Or, you know, if they did fire back, you would make sure that it's just like one very weak alien that's remaining. But here it's a lot more interesting, because you get to move a guy, and then the enemy gets to move a guy. So it adds for a lot more strategic depth. I really have to say that I love this system a lot. And I hope they keep it for XCOM 3. And I hope they keep the breach mode as well. Or, you know, get something similar. And I think like a lot of the things they're testing out in this DLC might actually be something they're looking to put in XCOM 3. Like, see how the community responds, which one of these systems they like and which ones they don't.
This timeline presents new opportunities. Some agents and enemies can change units' places in the timeline. Chimera Squad has an ability called Team Up. Once per mission, you can choose a member of your squad to jump right to the top of the turn order. This can allow you to get an agent to safety or to get the drop on an enemy. Agents who take a beating and lose all their hit points start bleeding out. Another agent must then stabilize their ally. Stabilized agents remain unconscious for the rest of the battle. If an agent bleeds out entirely, the mission fails and must be restarted.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this system, though. I think it makes the game too easy. I mean, I suppose if they're going to mess up with the turn order and they're going to increase the difficulty for the game, this is how they choose to compensate. But not really a big fan. In the previous game, it was a big choice if you want to get a med kit, and it was also up to luck if your soldiers would be bleeding out, and you had like certain mechanics where you could increase the likelihood of a soldier bleeding out rather than just dying. But the fact that it's game over if you lose a single soldier, that's really meh. I kind of get the fact that they want to make this into a squad where maybe you get to, you know, have every character have their own personalities, and They're trying to get you attached to the soldiers, but I never liked this system where you get attached to the soldiers to begin with. Like in the previous XCOM, your soldiers were cannon fodder. It was like Darkest Dungeon. You just have soldiers that you throw in at the enemy. A lot of them die, but you manage to recover some technology, and you use that technology in order to do research and give armors and better weapons so that it increases the likelihood of your soldiers surviving. And I really like that, you know. But with the new XCOM from 2K Games, they removed that. They made you get really attached to the soldiers. And losing 1 or 2 soldiers on the hardest difficulty was pretty much like a game over. Yeah, now they're making it an actual game over if you lose a soldier.
Keeping your agents healthy and in the field is critical, as agent abilities synergize with each other in different ways. Each agent has a unique set of skills that they can bring to the team. Some agents can destroy an enemy's cover to give the rest of the squad a better chance to hit. Other agents can forcibly move units, triggering an ally's overwatch or pulling an ally to safety. Some agents can even shield a teammate. Equipment can provide additional abilities to any agent. The unique and varied skills of Chimera Squad will provide endless opportunities for tacticians.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm going to give this game a try because it's really cheap. I already have the original game. Might as well just buy a small DLC in order to see how it is. I wish I could stream it, but unfortunately my computer isn't good enough for streaming. The processor is very old, so the only way I can stream games is from my PlayStation. And, you know, maybe in the future, if I ever manage to upgrade my PC, I will stream these types of games because I want to do some commentary. I have incredibly low expectations of it. Incredibly low because there's a lot of dog whistles, both in the story and the art style, which might suggest that the people working on it aren't hired because they're the best in the field, but they're hired for other reasons. But, you know, hopefully I'm wrong. Like, I always want to be pleasantly surprised by something. And considering that this game is really cheap and I have very low expectations, doesn't take a lot in order to, I guess, make me say that it's a decent game. So we'll see. I'll give it the download when I finish playing it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.